Happy Valentine's Day. I love Valentine's Day. I do. People might not believe it, but it just reminds me, this is a perfect example of why I love Valentine's Day. Of when I was a professional wrestler. Yeah, I call it that because they paid me to wrestle people. Actually, it was the job title was vocational instructor, you know, with the mentally handicapped. They had jobs that they could do and stuff, and so you worked and you helped them with that. But when there was trouble, they called for me, and I was pretty good, you know. I can't even tell you all the wrestling matches that I had, and they were paying me. It sounds better to call the professional wrestler. I mean, you know, there was this one guy, he just went crazy, and you know, there he is, he's like, he's just, he had like 4 rows of teeth, and his, yeah. Anyway, I better stop talking about that. I think I signed something. I read all their files. They're all available. Nobody ever read the files. I'm like, I got to know what I'm dealing with. And I'm very good at detaining people. So, professional wrestling. But in this place where they had work, it's a great place. It really is. You know, people got to make some money, and they had a certain amount of jobs. If you didn't have work that day, you went into another room where they had, you know, not just going to say nonverbals. The nonverbals worked too, you know. But there were people that couldn't talk. And there were nonverbals. There were attempted suicides. Yeah. But this girl, she didn't have work that day. And it was Valentine's Day. And she was so excited. And she just kept talking about it. And she's coloring a picture. Actually, you're going to have to zoom in if you're going to have to catch it. But that picture up there, that one, that picture is a coloring book thing that she did. And it's this little kid under an umbrella. And it's got wings. And she's beautiful at coloring. She colored it, and she entitled it, you know, assigned it, and said, "For Judas, angels are always protected." Oh, that cute little big head face on there. And so right in front of her, I took it with a marker and a straight edge. I take pride in what I do. And I made these gleaming things coming out of it with black and gold. And it's just, and I'd found a rock in the parking lot. They're coming back from the woods. Sometimes I'd take them out to the woods. And it looked like a little skull. And so I painted in the eyes and everything, and I glued it and stuck it over that head right there. So it looks like the angel of death walking along. And angels are protected. This is the girl that made me that picture, and she's coloring other stuff, and she's just excited. And she made the mistake of asking me about Valentine's Day, and aren't I happy? I said, I love it. I said, this is the day. From what I've read, that here's this guy, Valentino, you know, Valentino Valentine. He wasn't a saint then. He was in prison under the emperor. And he'd sit there and spout off his Catholicism, Christianity idea. You know, we got this thing going, and guys like, listen, Joe Smith, get the hell out of my life. We got something going already. And but he didn't mind, so he stuck him in a hole, you know. And every once in a while he'd have court with the emperor, and the emperor would listen to his stuff, and he's like, yeah. It didn't bother him much. I'm guessing these were the Sol Invictus times, you know. And but what happened was this guy, Valentino, I call him that, you know, he's a shyster. He started trying spouting off all this stuff to the emperor's daughter. And the emperor did not like that. Not one bit. He quartered him and stuck him on stakes at the entrances, the gates, north, south, east, west gates to the city. And there it is. Valentine's Day. So, and she just looked at me, and I got up and I left. And about 2 minutes after that, this woman, this Nurse Ratched woman that ran the place, Judas, and I'm like, what? And she says, that chick's in the other room crying right now. And I say that chick because I don't want to use her name. I told you I might be under some sort of, but she's crying because of something she said you said about Valentine's Day. And, you know, this may be the best compliment anybody would ever give this girl, because she was. And I said, she is smart enough to know what Valentine's Day is all about. Happy Valentine's Day.